Hello, and thank you for joining us for Candid Conversations with Christen. This is my podcast where I check the pulse of Thomasville, Alabama, and the surrounding areas. Today, I am in Sumter County in York, Alabama, where I am talking with Dr. Marguerite Hendricks about the Coleman Center for the Arts. They have a lot of things going on here, and you don't want to miss out. So, Dr. Hendricks, tell us more about what makes the Coleman Center so special.
Well, first of all, Christen, thank you for having me. This is wonderful. We appreciate the spotlight here in Sumter County. The Coleman Center for the Arts has actually been here since 1985. It started off as a bona fide art club. Tut Altman-Riddick is our founder. She currently lives in Mobile, but she's from York, and her friends started an art club in 1985, so we're celebrating our 40th year. Wow. And over those 40 years, we've evolved into a nonprofit, contemporary civic arts organization.
Gotcha.
What does that mean, you might say?
They may be wondering.
Well, we have 5 program areas that we cover, and we have 7 buildings scattered across downtown York, and so we serve the community now as a nonprofit through a variety of programs and services. Our primary program is our Artist in Residence program, and that program generates a variety of arts education programs and workshops and community arts events. We also focus on arts education for youth and adults, so art classes. You can come down and learn how to draw, learn how to dance. We have youth and adult dance in our dance studio. We also have a monthly community art event where we invite artists to come and vend at no cost to artists. Yeah. And so we want to create and encourage economy around the arts. Mm-hmm. And so if you're an artist or a maker, a fashion designer, textile artist, visual artist, maybe you make jewelry, or maybe you even make baked goods, you're welcome to come down to our Pop Start community space once a month. We've been doing it on third Saturdays lately. Okay. And invite folks to come down and partake in you being a maker and an artist here. So we also have a community garden, and we have a facility rental program. So you can rent several facilities here at the Coleman Center for the Arts. You can rent our Pop Start community space. That's where we are now. You can rent our dance studio. You can also reserve our artist residency, which is a former bank, and now it's a 3-bedroom residence. And when artists are here in residence with us, and we'll talk more about that program, I'm sure, later, but when artists aren't in residence, it's available for booking on Airbnb. So we have a lot going on here. We're serving the community in a variety of ways. And yeah, that's what we're about.
Gotcha. Well, busy. You are a busy bee. You've got a lot of things going on. So I guess talk a little bit about, why is it so important to really, celebrate and protect the arts in the community?
Well, the arts are really central to life in a lot of ways in the community. Here in York, Alabama, we really value the arts. There's been a long history of really supporting the arts. We have a lot of public murals here, and over time, the arts have been eliminated from public schools. And in a place like Sumter County that's more rural, you don't have organizations and spaces and places that have arts programs happening. And that could be dance or drawing, that could be fashion design. I mean, there are a variety, theater, music classes. These are all essential to unlocking joy and enjoying life. Also, research has shown overwhelmingly that access to the arts, participating in the arts, whether you're creating art or enjoying art, it does benefit you. Your social, emotional health, it reduces stress. And so these are really important.
Yes.
And we deserve that.
Right. We deserve joy.
We deserve that. We deserve to participate and experience the arts in a variety of ways.
Gotcha. So tell us more about, and I know you mentioned the community garden, but you have a dance studio, you have the library, and so tell us a little bit more about the 7 buildings that you mentioned.
Okay, I'll go in order. So Avenue A, which eventually we'd love to become Avenue Arts, is where the majority of our buildings are. On the corner, we have what is the former library, we call it the old library. Our Hightower Memorial Library has moved to the new City Hall, so that's really exciting. In that library, in the front, there's an art gallery. So we have our art gallery in the library, and in the back of the library, we have classrooms. So that's where we facilitate a lot of classes, and that's also where we allow visual artists to come in and work if they need studio space. And then if you move down the block a little bit further, we have an old building that's currently under construction. It was the former director's residence, but we got a grant from the Alabama State Council for the Arts to convert it into 2 additional artist residencies.
That's awesome.
So there'll be a studio efficiency upstairs and a studio efficiency downstairs. And again, when artists are in residence, it'll be available on Airbnb for folks to come down and visit York. And so that building is under construction. And then you move to the next building, which is the former bank. That's our bank turned artist residency. And that's our artist in residency facility. That facility is where we invite artists from around the nation and from all practices. So visual artists, performing artists, textile artists, literary artists, spoken word artists have even come and been in residence with us. We invite them to come live with us for a set amount of time. It could be a week, it could be 2 months, it could be several times over a year. And they'll complete an art project and they'll present that project to the community. But also while they're here, and that's the exhibition part, right? So that could be in the gallery, or we could do a performance, right? That would be the exhibition. But also a hallmark of our Artist in Residence program is that we love for our artists to do a community engaged workshop. And so bringing the art practice to the community, and so showing the community what they do and working with them in creation in some way. And so that's looked like when we had Bakara Johnson come and do a portrait of Henrietta Lacks. She did a workshop here in the Pop Start where they created bookmarks out of fabric, flower bookmarks out of fabric, right? And so, you know, kind of in alignment with the theme Flowers for Henrietta Lacks. And so, you know, those kinds of experiences, and that was a multi-generational workshop. So we had grandbabies with grandparents, you know, doing art together. And so those are the kinds of experiences that artists in residence bring to the community. And then most artists that are in residence with us, they leave a piece of art behind, and that becomes, you know, our collection of art that we kind of look to and, you know, put on exhibition when we don't have other artists in the gallery, to remind folks of where we came from, and to always, you know, support artists that have come to be in residence with us. So, you know, that kind of helps our identity, that Coleman collection, kind of capturing everyone that's been in residence with us. So next door to the residency is the office, the administrative office. That's where all the staff is.
All the business is being done.
That's where all the business is handled in the office. And so that kind of rounds out Avenue A, and then you come over to Broad Street, and that 211 Broad Street is split into 2 buildings, so 211A, 211B. We're in 211B. This is Pop Start. This is a community space. This is where we have our monthly art vendor event. This is where people can rent this facility for baby showers, birthday parties, anniversaries. So it is a facility rental. And so this is kind of where we gather as community. It's called Pop Start because it was created, and its intention is for artists to come here and experiment with the community. And pop start their ideas. And so it's open to artists and community to come in and use as they see fit. And then next door, we opened our CCA Elite Dance Studio in 2022, and that was with the support of a gift from the Ruth Arts Foundation. We said, what can we do with this? And there was a dormant space, and so we got some dance floor and pads, ballet bars and mirrors, and we've had our CCA Elite Dance program for youth going on for about 3 years now. So we also have adult line dancing in our dance studio. So we have programs for everyone, and that kind of rounds out our program. Our community garden is behind the artist residency. It's 100% volunteer, and we welcome and encourage volunteers to come and help us maintain the garden, plant seeds, grow food, and take that food home to enjoy for your family.
Gotcha. So any other programs or building rentals, how can they get in touch with you guys to, you know, get all that information?
They think the best way is our website, which is colemanarts.org, COLEMANARTS.org. That's probably the best way, and you can access all of the information. If you're on Instagram, we're there. If you're on Facebook, we're there, and you can click the link in our bio, and that will kind of lead you down a list on our link tree of programs and services. It will link you directly to our reservation form for PopStart, and so it's pretty resourceful. Our link tree is very resourceful, but I'd say go to our website if you don't feel comfortable on social media. We're very active on Facebook and Instagram.
Gotcha. So what would you tell people, not only in Sumter County or in York, but, the greater or broader West Alabama community to encourage those people to visit this hidden gem that is the Coleman Center for the Arts?
Yeah, there's a lot to see. Come see us. There are murals if you're into public art that you can come see. You can also come participate in our many programs. We have lots of programs going on weekly or monthly here at the Coleman Center for the Arts. And so just mark your calendar and join us. We try to provide a lot of resource for the community too. And so some of it, for instance, a business workshop that we have coming up called the Business of Art, where we have 10 student attorneys coming down with their professor from UA law school to do a presentation to our community about the business of art, how to form an entity formation, what's the difference between an LLC and a DBA, right? And whether or not you need to copyright something or trademark something, and what is copyright infringement, and what does that look like for an artist? And so, they also have a nonprofit entrepreneurship clinic, and that's who we're collaborating with. And so it's really important, because if we don't collaborate like that, folks won't know about us, right, and they won't be exposed to all that we have to offer through our programs and services. So we're also collaborating with UA's STEM education department. Okay. They are doing STEM creativity with our youth every week. We also have sewing classes once a week for our youth, and adult and youth classes for dance happening once a week. So there's a lot happening. In addition to our once a month programs, we've got just stuff going on every week. So you can come get a personalized tour of the gallery. You can always contact our office if you want to come get a personalized tour of the entire center or visit the gallery. The gallery is open right now by appointment only. So, there's lots of ways to engage with what we have going on. You just got to reach out, touch us.
Well, y'all are providing an amazing service for the community and, the West Alabama broader community. So, how can people give to you all, donate to you all?
Well, that's a great question. We're 100% donor and grant funded. We're a nonprofit. And so there are a lot of ways that you can contribute to the Coleman Center. Some ways are really light, but impactful. Like you could donate snacks to our after-school program. Okay. Fruit snacks, healthy snacks for our youth that are here every week, getting arts education. You can also participate in our recurring donor program, and so we encourage people to donate $5 to $10 a month, or $20 to $50 a month, or maybe even $100 a month to the Coleman Center for the Arts. And recurring donations help us sustain our operations, keep our staff on board, keep our buildings up to code and maintained, right? We also, of course, are grant funded, and so I'm always looking for grant opportunities and opportunities to collaborate with others on grant writing. And then, they can donate on our website. So we have small recurring donations, one-time donations. You can donate items like snacks for our after-school program. If you're a business or a business owner, you can contribute to this nonprofit and enjoy the write-off and the benefit of that, because it's a great organization to support, and it's also a great benefit to your business. And so we welcome corporate partners and businesses to support us with recurring donations, and we're happy to acknowledge you in the many ways that we do for the folks that support us. And so there are levels, and we're open-minded. There's not just one prescribed way to support a nonprofit.
Right.
And so we're open to creative patronage, we're open to creative donorship, we're open to creative stewardship. So yeah, direct donations is the best way to support us, and you can go to our Donate Give page on our website, and there's a direct link there.
Gotcha. Now, is there anything else that you would like to add to the conversation that we have not discussed?
The Coleman Center for the Arts is a wonderful place here in Sumter County in York, Alabama. It is a hidden gem of sorts. You can come down here and hang out and have an arts experience. You can learn a new craft, or you can, like I said earlier, just unlock some joy by participating in the many arts education and community arts programs that we have going on here at the Coleman Center for the Arts. I think the best way to stay in touch is to subscribe to our newsletter. Okay. Not everybody is on social media, and so you can reach that subscription link on our website. You can also reach that subscription link on our social media. But I think the best way to stay in touch is to sign up for our email newsletter, and that way you can know in advance when we're having events and programs. You can mark your calendar and come on and join us. One of the things that I would like to share is that we want to encourage folks that have teams to consider coming down to the Coleman Center and hosting your team retreat on site at our facility. We have a lot of facilities here. We have free Wi-Fi that you can access. We have this big community space. We also have our dance studio, the community garden. And if you wanted to do an overnight staff retreat, we could arrange for you all to stay in our artist residency. And so, we want to partner and collaborate with organizations and entities and build long-term relationships as well. So reach out to us and let's collaborate on how you can have an arts experience and we can support your organization as well.
Gotcha. Well, like I said, you are a busy bee. You have a lot of things going on down here, and you guys, you don't want to waste the opportunity or let the opportunity pass you by to come and visit the Coleman Center for the Arts, because it's such a lovely, resource that we have in rural West Alabama, and I just really want people to just know and be aware that it's here. Come visit. You are all welcome.
Yeah, we've got a couple of public art projects that we feel will impact the community and kind of contribute to that. We've got a mural going up at DMC at Center Court, the restaurant here on downtown at Broad Street. And then we put up another public mural at the Broad Street Grill on 2nd Avenue as well. And we have a couple of more public art projects planned. So if you want to come out and help us put up a mural or some of the other public art projects that we have going on, that's another good reason to sign up for our newsletter, because one thing is to be here, another thing is for folks to know that we're here, because there's art everywhere, and that art kind of is generated from the community that participates at the Coleman Center for the Arts. So.
Gotcha. Well, thank you so much for talking to me, Dr. Marguerite. I really appreciate it. And I look forward to, spotlight. If y'all have anything else that y'all would like to talk about it, just give me a call. I'd love to come back down here to York. And thank you guys for watching. And again, come visit the Coleman Center for the Arts in York, Alabama. This is Christen with Candid Conversations with Christen. Thanks again, and thanks for watching.
Bye.